speakers, but that's not its strength. The arrow is strong when you're stuck in a situation where there's no solution. You have a fireplace. The lady of the house wants the arrows right in the corner, and the fireplace is butting out 2 feet. There's a couch in front of one of them, and you're expected to get a stereo image. The arrow will deliver. The arrow will also deliver to the person who has a very good little system. I know some of the electronics are not the same, but I'll give stupid examples. No insult again to the electronics that everybody is carrying. So the little arrow with a little name CD, or a little rega, or something of the nature that you have equivalents to, it's absolute magic. It can render acoustical music and jazz music and symphonic music and even pop music in an extraordinary fashion. Very quick, very communicative. The Dreamcatcher, well, when we decided to do that 5.1 in a box, it was fairly large, but we did it. We sold thousands of these sets. Why? Because it's amazing off-axis. You can put, if you have a lowboy and somebody has, they want the speakers in the lowboy, you can actually put one in the lowboy, one on the stand like this, and it'll still give you a fantastic stereo image. And don't think that you're going to lose anything. People who want a different solution, they like the Dreamcatcher, but they don't like the center because the center is a box. We have options for that. We have tribe on-walls that, even though don't have the same componentry, will match in phase. People say, well, how come you tweeters, you can intermix them and intermatch them? Because we don't design like other people. Everybody uses steel small parameters to design speakers. We have our own math tables, which we developed over 20 years ago. And we adhere to them. We're jealous about them. We don't tell anybody. We can get bass out of little units that people have no business knowing how to do. In fact, Dr. Floyd Toole from the NRC, at one point before he went to Harman, came up to me, God's honest truth, and he asked us, how do you get the bass out of those small units? I said, I'm not going to tell you, Dr. Toole. We have our own principles, because you can believe it. We were playing a little mic with some decent electronics, and we were getting good 40 hertz information out of it, but beautiful spatial information too. And that's from a speaker that retails around $650. So what retails here for $500, $600 in Europe retails for 2 to 2.5 times the cost. And we sell 35% of our gear in Europe. So it's a good testing ground for us. Secondly, these little families. The arrow, placed right under a plasma or an LCD or something of the nature, works beautifully. Don't even think that it's not going to give you perfect voicing. Even in the 2.1, it'll fill up the center and it'll do everything it has to do. If you want to add a center, you have 5 choices. You ask the person the budget, of course. Person's on an economy budget. Dreamcatcher center is around $400. They can put it on. If they have a little bit more, you can put a Tribe 1 right on the wall. And it'll match perfectly. Because our speakers are not voiced like other speakers. Everybody else's speakers, that's why they have to be angled, are voiced and are directional, like this. Our speakers are voiced like a voice. That's why we are the world leaders in full range on-wall technology. That's why if you put a Tribe 3 on wall, when you do your first installation with a Tribe 3 system on wall, it could be a stereo, could be a 3.1, it could be a 5.1, you'll become totem conquerors. Because you'll leave that room, you won't have any apprehension. Oh, is the customer happy with the sound? Well, you have no doubts that that system will outdo about anything on the market. And this on-wall can actually beat out most of the reference monitors at $10,000, $15,000 a pair out there in terms of voicing and proper presentation. And we'll try to show you. We're going to, I don't know the electronics, we didn't come set up, we're going to bring our own wiring. It doesn't matter. We'll show you with the simplest application possible to give you confidence to use them correctly. Now, I urge you to look through our new fancy and sexy, because a woman runs my company, Lucy Lantini, and she's avant-garde. She looks like $1 million, but she's got brains, more brains than I do in marketing, more brains than I do in how to present our company. I have technical brains. I tell her, I'm the brawn, you're the brains. What do you want me to do? But we also have technical brains beyond anything else. So our little families are deadly. Dreamcatcher. Instead of with the little Dreamcatcher sub, put the Storm sub. The Storm sub is amazing. You wouldn't believe the speed, rapidity. It's not a one-note plotting unit. Whoever tells you that a sub does not give mid and high information and that speed is not important and it's just the low extremities is leading you down the wrong path. Our subs are fantastic. Our in-wall subs, we have a double 8 version. These are two 8-inch active drivers, not one active, one passive, and it can pack a wallop. And the beautiful thing about this, we have also an in-wall version, is that you can mount it like this, vertically. You can unscrew it, unscrew one of these, put it horizontally, even in a lowboy. If you don't like that arrangement, we also have the mounting mechanism and the brackets to put it on wall. That's 3. You can unscrew this, and because of this double-tiered flexible feet, you can slip it underneath a couch or a sofa or anything. Even to do a 6.1, 7.1 in a bedroom. Works beautifully. And it's a fantastic stuff. Don't think that we don't use it. In fact, we use it with the Wind Design, which is our flagship. At one of the CDs, we had 2 of them. Wind Design, and away we went with some Bryson Electronics, and we were jumping up and down. It was so good. So don't think that our subs, because they're small, they don't perform. So this one at around 1700 for the in-wall version, one amplifier can drive 2 of these modules. One single amplifier that is sold with this module can drive 2 modules. So you can, yes?
1700 is priced 1 unit and 1 amp.
1 amp, yes.
Then what's about $800?
$800 for the second module. And then you have this in-room version of that sub. Of course, it's different internally, it's braced differently, but we make it simple. And we have the shallowest 12-inch in-wall sub in the industry. And it's not made cheap. It's made with a beautiful aluminum flange, North American made. We have almost a 5.5-inch voice coil on that 12-inch woofer. So it impulses quickly. It doesn't have to go blah. It impulses quickly. Because Lucy told me, she says, Vince, come into my room, come in my office. I said, okay, what do I have to do now? And that's not the way I answer, but just to exaggerate it. And what she says, I've looked at the subs in the market. The Deftex are made like somebody used in somebody's used garage in China. That's the way they look. I want something that looks beautiful, but I want it to fit in a 2x4, standard 2x4 for retro or new construction. I don't care. Don't give me a triad deep sub. And I want that grill in the front absolutely flat. And I want a 12-inch active, 12-inch passive. So I open my mouth. She says, shut that mouth and get out of here and go do it. Well, it took 3 years to get it done correctly, and we did it. So we have 2 of the best in-wall solution subs in the market. And we have also an in-room example of that. And then we have tiny ones, just one smaller than this and one slightly larger than this that are musical. The Storm, we have a dealer in Ottawa who's a huge Paradigm dealer, but he sells 3 times the amount of Totem. Why? Because he sells over 200 subs in a year of that Storm. And he says the Storm sub at $1,100 is the best bang for the dollar out there. You could put it in doublets at $1,100 at retail, and you can put it anywhere. Plus, you're HTSA, we're HTSA. Paradigm came after us, it's the HTSA. But they're a great company too. We're a more concerned company. And as a long-term partner, I think we offer more stability. But I'm not putting down anybody's mate. You all know the history with BMW and other things. And sometimes companies that are held by holding companies, as Paradigm is, do strange things. You know, it cannot be now, but it could be in the future. And we don't. We have, I think, a solid head. And we've proven to our people that we can support them. That one small dealer in Ottawa that's half the size buys wholesale from us $500,000 in a year. We have a Toronto dealer that buys $750,000, and we supplanted Paradigm, we supplanted everybody because we always started small. We always come in humbly, and we tell them, look, we offer a solution for you. And then when people start getting to know the solution that we offer, the quality that we offer, in the end, we get allies. We don't try to force anybody out. If it takes 5 years, it takes 5 years. But we're here to help you every step of the way and to move you in every step of the way. Again, I deflect and I go everywhere, but let's go back to the little families. You have the Dreamcatcher Arrow, which you have here. Then we have another family that's called the Mite Staff. And that's meant to go on any type of electronics. If you want to put good electronics, by all means. But you can put the junkiest electronics in that particular family sounds amazing. And it's just maybe 10 to 15% more expensive than the Arrow, but it's this size. So it's exactly this size as a floor standard, and it goes down to 36 hertz. And it's a model we never advertise because it sells itself. When people get used to it, the might and staff sell themselves. You can put a tribe on wall to supplement it. I haven't spoken at all about our in-walls, but our in-walls basically use a dumbed-down technology that we developed for the Tribe 3. So our in-walls are majestic. Some of you I have not seen at CES or at other shows because, well, why you come to Totem? There's tons of other brands. But we make sound in stupid situations, and we're the only company that really, there's not a room or a situation where we don't make fantastic sound. So at CEDIA, we'll put up little fake walls, we'll put up our in-walls, and they sound enormous. Great projection in the voice. But this doesn't come by accident. As an example, I'll talk parts because I'm a stupid techno, and sometimes I have to talk a little bit about the parts that we use. Tribe 1, which is our on-wall unit, which retails at around $750. We put a capacitor in there that is called a Mundorf Gold Silver Foil. It costs us 42 euros. We put it in there. Even though I'm a unit that retails for $750, that means that our margins are ultra small. But we put it in there because that's the best capacitor for it. When I tried to put the gold-silver in-wall on the Tribe LR, which is our in-wall version of the Tribe, it didn't work. I had to go to an even more exotic capacitor, which is made in Britain by IWC, and it's called the MR series. And that one costs us around 40-something sterling, pound sterling, not euros, so it's even more. But we put them in very specific situations because we don't need many parts. Our crossovers just are always finalized with just a few parts. It's like the Marines. We just need a few of these guys, like the Spartans. The rest, we don't need a whole mass. But we need very good, fantastic parts that last for decades and that prove themselves by the ultimate musicality that is transferred. So if somebody buys a product from us, well, for Pete's sake, we make this little driver. It takes us 3.5 hours from total machining time. Maybe I'll just grab it. I know you've seen it, and Rich has shown it to you. Total machining time.
You seen that, Rick?
No.
To the world's most advanced magnetics. And that's what we put in that driver. And we don't mold it because when we mold drivers for some of our other models, we need much more precision. There's no crossover in that woofer. It has to be good over 30 years. And it has to perform at a level that it's nobody's business. So we had to build it in-house and we machine it. And I have a full-time engineer, all he does is assemble them. And when he sees me, he shakes a bit. Calm down, Eve, I tell him. I'm just here to check on your quality, that's all. As long as the quality is there, I don't bother anybody at our place. But with this magnetics, we're able to, you see, this is one of the world's strongest magnets. Everybody, the highest grade neodymium you can get is 52. This is closer to 60. And we only get it from, there's only one place on the planet that produces it, and we buy it from it. And we produce it, and then we put these two different types of soft irons to further that magnetic field. So this little driver, over its whole throw of around 1/2 inch, because it can go for a 1/2 inch throw, is always in control and always in the juice. That's the beautiful aspect of this little driver. Now, then we need to machine it to tolerances that are, you know, like Swiss watches, not to the tolerances of driver manufacturers. Would anybody else do this? No way. We've been offered $500–600 for a single driver. We don't sell it outside. Why? Because we only produce it for ourselves, so we can offer them at a particularly good price to attract people to the Totem products. So if you put these in wall, on wall, in wall, you can even screw them into the cabinets. People do it all the time, even though we have in-walls. They want a little more performance, they use the Tribes, the Tribe 3s. We make one that's called the Tribe 5 that looks beautiful. It's what B&O should have. And then when people hear it with no sub, and they say, my gosh, I'm getting 30 hertz out of this, they're just flabbergasted. And that's what people want. The big box days are slowly ebbing. We know, we see it from a worldwide perspective. If people don't want in-walls, which we make spectacular in-walls that are musical with the same voicing that we do, we at least make product that people wouldn't mind having in their home.